Shalom, everybody. Since this class is a kind of both continuation and it's going over the studies that we go through with Harav Armoni, we taking this hour, and that's why we're going to do it in English, since he does the course in English, and eventually, Bezrat Hashem, God willing, we will do it in Farsi. If anybody has something that I explain it in English and is not clear, please stop me so I can clarify it. Before we go through reviewing what we learned in the past two classes, especially. And first of all, I want to tell everybody I have sent all the information necessary for you to register to a site that all the tapes going to be available, number 1, 2, 3, all the shiurim will be available. So the code that I have sent you, and it is for you, is please, that gives you an access to all the recordings.
Adon Melamed, did you send this individually to each registered student? Or did you send, where did you send it to?
It says the school, if I have sent it both to all the people who have individually to their WhatsApp or to their message. Everyone that registered with me, I have sent the code for them. Anybody missing the code, please contact me. I gladly will provide it again for you. That's number one. After you registered and you get your code to get into this access of this library, every Thursday, especially this Thursday, again, we are going to have free for all to participate. This week as well, Arab will continue, but allows to everybody come in. Right now, all together from Israel, and here we have over 50 people. But we have only from Los Angeles 15 people. So we like at least to come to 20 people. That's number 2. The classes is going to be only for 2 hours and 5 minutes break in the 2 hours. Every Thursday, this Thursday, I will send the link into the WhatsApp of Harav Armoni and Melamed. And I will send for all those people who are on Tuesday side to make sure that you have it for Thursday to have entry into the 4th introductory class. The intention really here is to know more Gilgul Neshamot. It's how returning soul really works in our system. What is the relation of father, grandfather, grandmother, mother, aunts, uncles? What do they play? What kind of a role they play in our life? Remember that every isurim, that means every difficulty, whether physical, whether it is mental, the source of that stress is because of some trauma. The trauma is connected to something that either you were supposed to do and you didn't do, or what you were not supposed to do and you did. And the stress causes physical damage in 240 parts of your body, physically and emotionally. Second, nothing happens on its own immediately. It doesn't pop in. It takes at least a year to get cooked correctly, to get prepared, like a cancer. It takes time, and it goes through stages. Before I read something from Gilgul Neshamot, because I want every time that we study, review this together, and those people who have questions to come in and ask the question, there is one concept very important in learning this art, which is art. And Rav explained the word hineni. Now, this is not a simple word. The word of hineni comes from the Torah when, as Rav explains, as when God called Abraham to sacrifice his son, Isaac, said Abraham, say hineni. Hineni means obedience and absolute preparedness with no question. Now, those are strong words. We can only devote such a devotion, such a commitment, only to the word of Emet, to the word of Torah. I cannot give such a devotion to submit myself in absoluteness unless I know it is the word of Torah, the word of Emet. And that's why I have to prepare myself, because one of the character of Abraham is compassion. And when you have compassion, then automatically your being becomes hineni. So the power of compassion, cultivating the compassion and reaching the level of hineni, because Abraham did the tikkun of nefesh, and it is a big aspect of our life to do the tikkun of nefesh. That's the most difficult part, that you have to act on your nature and change your nature. Harav explained that there is 5 points, as we know, in our life that affects the beginning of our existence in this world. A year before your father and mother. And we discussed last week that the whole Torah is talking about father and mothers and uncles and families, and generation after generation after generation. To emphasize, when we come to the Moshe, Aaron, Miriam, brothers and sisters, we see the reason of father and mother, male and female, and then God give them the mitzvah of peru verebu. Peru verebu. It's become plenty. Create more. That's the first mitzvah. given to a father and mother. And eventually, the first production of a father, first father and first mother, is Hevel and Cain. And immediately Torah is telling us what a brother did against another brother. As in the parasha of this week, Mishpatim, we talked about brother selling brother. A brother putting into the boar another brother. From one boar to another boar. All those traumas from the start of a man's existence affects every one of us. That means we're coming to this world with already a bag to take care of. Tikkun of Yosef, 10 Harugei Malchut, and Tikkun of Etz Da'at Tovara. That still is part of our Tikkun. That's what is coming from generation. Up till today. Through my fathers and mothers and fathers and mothers that I have had, every Gilgul I have come to this world. And one of the 13 beliefs of Judaism is that we believe in Gilgul Neshamot. That means returning of souls. Now God gave us something called emotion. And that's a very important thing. How do we show emotion? Kaprat, Ka'as. The first letters of Kuf, Kina, jealousy. One is born with jealousy. It's in his DNA, it's in nature. And he shows it in his emotion. Pachad, fear. Every one of us have some kind of a fear, whether we are aware of it or not. Daga, to worry. Worry. We finish one worry, there is another worry. There is no end to the worries. Anger. Chaos. Sadness. And worst of them all, hatred. Those are emotions. Every time we reacted in this way. That's how we show our emotion. All those negative energy that put the stress in our body. Remember that our neshama is holy, comes from unlimited place. Body is a limited place. This world is a limited place. By coming, a neshama coming to the body is a lot of stress on neshama itself. Especially if you give him a hard time. Because the way neshama thinks and feels is different. Now, think we are branched out, like the 12 Shvatim. Our neshama is branches, made of branches as well. And usually we correct the same branch, same group. We repeat. until we cleanse, until we achieve that standard that is set for us. Isurim, difficulties, every kind of it is only for one reason, to teach us how to correct ourselves and elevate ourselves. This is the world that starts with cry when you are born, and you come to your life to many, many times that you cry for help. When they take you away, waive you from taking milk from your mother, you cry. You wanted to come out of Egypt, you had to cry. Now, all this, how nature teaches us. We said 5 important points. A year before of marriage of your father and mother. Marriage. The night of Zivug. Extremely important. We're going to read about this. Because they are things that I get from my mother, I get things that I get from my mother, from my father, and I should be able to differentiate and understand what aspect of my life comes from the branch of my father, what comes from my mother, what it is that my mother has given me, what it is that my father has given me. They are the source of me being in this world. And because they give me something, because my father gives me something, because my mother gives me something, I respect them. And that's kavod avicha ve'imecha. And only I can respect it when I understand what it is they have given me. Recognize it, realize it. Under what circumstances, under what conditions. This knowledge helps me to understand what it is that I need to correct in order to eradicate an unnecessary stress. Remember the aga, to worry. The aga is good. You have to worry if you accept responsibility. And this life is to accept responsibility. That's what the Harab Armoni says. The first stage, by you saying Hineni, that means you're ready to change. No matter how good you are. So, knowing the relation between the mother and father, the grandfather and grandmother, so along the line, and the beauty is, Harav explains, the beauty is that forgive yourself and forgive everybody else that you think has done wrong to you. Because if you along the line, you come and find out that yes, because of certain behavior of certain member of a family, you have come about a very difficult situation in your life, and you're bearing the burden. Anger and hatred should not be the place. Da'aga is equal to ahava. I should be able to convert all those that are extremely dark energy into the light energy. That's how you can heal. That's when it comes, when you forgive, you let go, and you forget. Not only to forgive, but to forget. Now, we said the time of marriage, the night of zivug, 9 months in the womb of the mother. Everything mother eats, every mother thinks, everything he feels, you do. Every month of your 9 months in the womb of the mother is equal to 1 year of the first of your life. That means 9 years of your first 9 years of your life equals each to 9 months being in the womb of mother. The first year that you are taken away, you are with and not, taken not drinking the milk of mother, the way the mother rejects you. I have learned, especially lately after this, what we have studied, certain people, the mother says, I don't want you ever again to come and ask for milk, with anger. And still the child, though he's 70 years old, remembers that the mother said it with such a viciousness to her understanding, feeling, that she decided anybody that rejects me, I reject them more. She lives with that pain until she has to correct and release it, to forgive. Otherwise, the release is always going to be, the pressure is going to be there until causes, God forbid, affects the appropriate part of your body. Now, the Gilgul Neshamot is a very short book, but very extensive book. I am far from being able even to teach it. But I am going to try certain points that will help us to honestly understand what it is to kavod et avicha ve'imecha. He said, "Ata nedaber." I am in הקדמה של יוד. That is talking about the בחינת הבנים שאדם מוליד. It means children that comes from the Adam. The relation between me and my children, or me and my brothers with my father. At the same time, Rab talks about the relation of Talmid and the student and the teacher, because these two are extremely close. We are not going to read the teacher. We're going to read only the father. דע כי בין אם האדם לוקח בת זוג, או בין אם לוקח אישה שאינו בת זוגו. It says it doesn't make any difference if the guy marries his soulmate or not his soulmate. אין חלקו ביניהם לעניין זה, והוא כי יכול הוא להוליד בנים מן הניצוץ של הנשמות של שורשו עצמו. מגפר נמקוניקה, doesn't make any difference. He marries another, is not his soulmate. Still, the banim, the children that comes from him, it comes from his root, from his own branch. או להוליד מנשמת שורשים אחרים. But there is a possibility that he can bring children from other branches. Odd. And to know more, כי האב הוא נותן חלק מנשמתו אל בניו. The father is part of his neshama. That's his essence, called neshama. To his son, to his children. When we say son and daughter, they are the same. Because banav is include girl and boy. Of course, there is a difference. The boy can continue the branch. The girl is really the chesed of a father to allow another seed to be cultivated. So, מנשמתו אל בניו, ואותו החלק נעשה ליבוש אל הנשמה הבן. The part of neshama that the father gives to the son, to the children, is going to be a libush, a holy clothes for his children. That means he makes the clothes of the neshama of children. ומסייעו מדרכו בדרך הטובה. And this libush that the ben has, the banim have, the children have, they will help him how to grow and how to do good. Becomes his help. ולסיבה זו חייב הבן בכבוד אביו. And this is the reason Ari HaKadosh says that you have to respect your father. Because whether you know it or not, he is really helping you to be successful. Chaim Vital, Zichrono Lebracha, is the student of Ari HaKadosh. He takes this section in Matok Midavash and explains the following. It's very beautiful for us to really read. It says, "Bebechinat habanim she'adam molid." Let's talk about the children that Adam brings to this life. Eize kesher yesh la'av lehabanim. And tonight I want to study with you what connection Kabbalistically is between father and son. And then we go to the mother. And then it's easy to go to the father, and therefore I understand what it is that I am looking. וגם בעניין התלמידים עם הרב שלהם. But we are not going to discuss that tonight. אמנם אין חלוק בין נשמות האב לנשמות הבן רק פחות מתק מדרגות. Now here we see suddenly, I read it from the Ari before I come to this. It says, Omnam, however, if there is not חלוק בין נשמות האב ונשמות הבן, it says, if the distance between the neshama of the father and the neshama of the son רק פחות מתק מדרגות, he says, you know how much it should be the distance, a spiritual distance between father and son, father and children? He says, at least 500 degrees. 500 dargot. So what is 500 dargot? He says the distance between one rakia to another rakia is 500. I am trying to explain it very simple. Between there are 7 rakia. Shekhinah, when Israel made a lot of sin, Shekhinah went from this world, went all the way up to the 7 Rakia. Starting Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, each son brought Shekhinah 1 Rakia below. Until Amram, the father of Moshe, brought Shekhinah into the Marom. Moshe went to the Rakia to Marom, and from Marom brought it down to the earth. So it took 7 people to bring the Shekhinah back to this world through Rakia. Each Rakia is 500, let's say, steps. He says, what is 500 steps? How can I know the distance between 501 Rakia to another Rakia? What it means that the son and the father at least should be 500 or more. If it is less, is one condition going to happen, but if it is more, something else is going to happen. He says, okay, let's talk about if it is less than 500. He says, nothing is going to change. He says, but talk about 500 and let's understand what 500 is. Take how many years Abraham lived? 175 years. How many years Isaac Isaac lived? 180 years. How many years Yaakov lived? 147 years. Altogether, because 502. It's too correct. That tells me that Abraham is the grandfather. Yitzhak is the father. Yaakov is the son. 500 distance. 500 is the distance between 3 generations. Father, the grandfather, and the father, and the son. That's tak. And by the way, if you take Shin Daled Yud, that Omer La'olamot Dai, and you make it Milui of Shin Daled Yud, that's why Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov, they knew Shin Daled Yud, make Shin Daled Yud Milui, and the Milui of Shin Daled Yud is 500. Now, Rav wants to say that if you didn't complete the 3, what happens if you really have you are able to look at the father, grandfather, and father and the son? And if it is less, what happens if you can look at 3 of them? That's why so important that the Jews, they know their father and they know their mother until Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, and Moshe. They know the father and the mother. You have to know your father and mother. And that's why it says, Kavod et avicha. That means have a connection. Kavod is connection. Connect because they are the source. And as we explained last night, the Shema Israel, every time Shema Israel we say, in literally, I include all my fathers and all my mothers and all my grandfathers and all my granddaughters, all of them together. Every mother and a father I had from the day that God decided that my neshama to be the neshama of Yosef Melamed. I connect to all the father mothers. One Shema Israel. Now, Harav explains the following. He says, what happens in haben rak pachot That means he didn't complete the 3 generation. מדרגות. עניין המדרגות האלו הם כי יש 1,000 אלפי רבבות ניצוצות נשמות זו למעלה מזו. There are millions of neshamot, one after the other, but they're standing all in line. נמצא יש בין ניצוץ נשמה זו לניצוץ נשמה אחרת הרבה מדרגות. There is a difference between one neshama and neshama. There is a lot of degrees distance between one neshama and another neshama. ואם אין תק מדרגות, if there is not at least 500 מדרגות, בין נשמות האב לנשמה של הבן, between the father and the ben, אין ההפרש רחוק כל כך. There hasn't been enough time, that much, שתתבטל הגרוע במעולה. In every neshama, something is me'ole. Me'ole means excellence. That's the good qualities in us. That's me'ole. That's the good quality, good character, good material. And garua. And there is the bad part in us. There is good and the bad. כי אין המעולה חשובה כל כך לבטל את הגרוע. Since this distance, there is not distance, still neither the good one was able to correct the bad one, and the bad one as well cannot really make the good one bad. Not yet. It takes, that's why when Moshe was announced the Yud Gimel Midot Rachamim, says Shilshi v'Revi'i. That means it takes at least 3 steps. 3 steps is Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. You gotta complete the Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov to complete the distance. He says, what it is that to complete Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov? Abraham did tikkun of nefesh, of Adam. Yitzchak did tikkun of the ruach of Adam. Neshama did the tikkun by Yaakov. So that means the tikkun is completed if neshama, ruach, and nefesh have had the chance to complete. Then you say that the excellence has corrected what is bad. It cannot happen less than the 3 rounds. At least 3 rounds you have to go. Then the 4th is the result. ואין הגרוע גרוע כל כך שתתבטל לגבי מעולה. לכן הנה אז נשאר חלק נשמת האב, דהיינו הליבוש שנותן האב להבן, עם נשמתו הבן אפילו לימות המשיח. This ליבוש that the father gives to the son, it can be with him, stay with him until even to the Mashiach. To help him to reach till the Mashiach. אבל בתחיית המתים, but however when it reaches the תחיית המתים, או לעולם הבאה, And if it comes from, gets to עולם הבא, כל דבר חוזר לשורשו. Every neshama goes to its שורש. ונפרדים לגמרי. And you get separated from this father that gave you, and up till time of Mashiach, it's with you. After that, separates from you. ואומנם אם יש הפרש ביניהם שיעור תק מדרגות. Let's say they complete the Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov. תיקון of Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov. או יותר מתק. And even more. אז מתבטל הגרוע בגדולה. Then the one that was bad, the bad is going to be cancelled, nullified. מחכמד מרחק המעלה החשיבות שביניהם. Because this distance from the grandfather, then the father, then the mother, gives the importance. מרחוק מעלה החשיבות שביניהם. That means you recognize how important it is that I unite and correct me with my father. That I am the continuum of a tree, so to speak, Madriga, that created 500 steps. That means they completed the Shindaled Yud. That means they were able to control all the Gvulim. האומנם יש הפרש ביניהם שעוד תק מדרגות או יותר מתק, אז מתבטל הגרעות בגדלות מחכמת מרחק המעלה החשיבות שביניהם, והמתחברים חיבור גמור לעולם ועד ולא יתפרדו. However, they complete this שלישי ורביעי. They complete. This father and the sons, they all become one. Now, listen the beauty here. Many of us ask the question, when I die, am I going to see my father? Am I going to see the same father? Which father am I going to see? Which father is going to be the father, my father? You can't ask this question till you lose your father. And then you ask the question, am I ever going to see the same father? Now, you're going to get more or less an answer here. אפילו בתחיית המתים ובעולם הבא. So the unification becomes as such if you make the correction in these 3 generations. If you complete it, that unification nullifies totally whatever had to be corrected. Until you reach עולם הבא. ושניהם הם כשורש אחד. And they become one. דהיינו, אם מדרגת הבן היא גבוהה ממדרגת האב, if the son was able to reach a higher level of spirituality and holiness, then the father gets cancelled and joins the son. follow what it says. The son can go elevate, and even though the father did not get the same elevation, because the son has reached that higher elevation, the father is get nullified and joins the son, becomes the son. Father is the son.
Like Abraham, but Abraham and his father.
Abraham didn't go, said, listen, I don't go to Gan Eden. I don't accept the key. If my father is there too. God agreed. Terach became Yov. Yov made the correction. And both end up into Gan Eden. So he says, Madriga Av, אז מתבטל חלק האב, קסמת האב בוטל מישה, ונשמה הבן. And in neshama, that is neshama father, joins the neshama of ben, they become one. Am I going to see my father? I'm going to be my father. Or I am going to be him. Or him is going to be me. It depends. If I'm qualified and able to give more rise, elevate, I can do that. And that is the beauty of the lesson of the tree of generation. That I can cause others always to get an aliyah by me. That's why it says compassion. That's why it says hineni, what God wants. God wants all the Isurim to finish. God wants Mashiach. God wants to see the end of this. ונקרא הכל על שם שורש הבן. ואם מדרגה האב היא יותר גדולה ממדרגת הבן, אז מתבטל חלק הבן לגבי האב, ונקרא הכל על שם שורש נשמתו האב. והנה זו מבחינת אב עם הבן. יד מגירים, allow me to say, הנה אז נשאר חלק נשמת האב עם נשמת הבן אפילו לימות המשיח. I'm reading now straight from the Ari. אבל בתחיית המתים או לעולם הבא, כל דבר חוזר לשורשו, ונפרדים לגמרי. אמנם, however, אם יש הפרש ביניהם שעוד תק מדרגות, 500 and more, אז מתבטל הגרוע בגדלות ומתחברים חיבור גמור לעולם ועד. ולא יפרדו שניהם בשורשם כאחד. I mean, at the end they become one.
תחיית המתים.
תחיית המתים, עולם הבא, the possibility is that if it is not from the same shoresh, they separate, but the neshama, the libush that the father gave, it stays with him till תחיית המתים, but at the olam, at תחיית המתים, עולם הבא, it separates. But if they complete the three phases of Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, they stay including and they become one. Including in Olam Haba. עוד נדבר בעניין הבנים הנולדים מן האב. דע כי היות האיש מזדווג עם אשתו להוליד בנים, הנה מכוח האב נמשך בחינת אור מקיף. And this is what I want you to know tonight. When there is a zivug, what father gives the son? מכוח האב, from his energy, from his power, explains the koach. That means his capability. Bichinat or makif. He becomes the potential for you. He dictates your potential. ומכוח האם, and the mother, נמשך בבן גם כן בחינת אור פנימי. As well he gets it from the mother as well as פנימי. Because the father gives everything white in you, so your bone structure is your father as far as the inside concerned, and the basar and the skin and all the nerves and everything else, everything color is mother. So the pnimiut is the mother, father is the bone structure, and your makif. והנה אפשר שבעת זיווגם יקדש עצמם. הרב אריה הקדוש explains that when the father and mother want to make the zivug, this point is an important one. They have to make themselves kadosh. That means use the wisdom of Torah. שניהם בכוונת מצווה קדושה, that they are doing a mitzvah, and the mitzvah is kedusha because God said Peru v'rebu. Peru v'rebu is equal to 500. That's why Peru v'rebu. Because if you don't Peru v'rebu, you are not able to complete and get rid of the bad. ואו יהיה כוונה שניהם שלא לשם המצווה. Say, yeah, they can have a zivug, and they not be aware of it is for mitzvah, it is for pleasure. אלא להנאה עצמו ולרעה. Listen, I don't care good or bad. Bad, let me enjoy it right now. But you think, what are you creating? Imagine the Creator created you like this. Anyway, ועוד יהיה כוונה האב לטובה. He says, okay, if the father has a good intention, at that moment of consciousness, what kind of intention had? והאם לרעה. He says, you know what? The father could be the nicest guy, a happy guy, good intention. But the mother hate the guy and thinks otherwise. Now what's going to happen? The poor father is okay, or opposite. The mother is in a full good intention, and the father dumb somewhere else. What do you think going to happen? I can guarantee you, result is a bad result. ואו להפך, אמנם אם שניהם נתכוונו לדבר מצווה, however, if they thought of it as a mitzvah. Can I ask this information from mother? My father? Would that help me? Yes. Knowledge is power. יהיה הולד ההוא צדיק גמור. If they go for, it is a mitzvah, I'm doing a mitzvah. הרב says, צדיק גמור. באור המקיף ובאור הפנימי. Both his internal or and external or. ואם שניהם נתכוונו לרעה, יהיה הבן חס ושלום ההוא רשע גמור באור מקיף ובאור פנימי. ואם האב נתכוון לטובה ואמו לרעה, אז יהיה אור המקיף שלו על הבן צדיק ואור הפנימי רשע. But if the father intended good, the mother intended bad, the pnimiyut will be rasha, that means no good, but exterior, tzaddik. How many people do you know that they go outside so beautiful, so kind, they do everything for you, but when they go home, they go like a drunk. They hate everybody at home. Why? How come you can be good with the outside world? You come inside, you change character?
Question.
Let me just see, I done, yes. We stop here now. Let's go for your questions.
Can I ask?
Yes, of course, please.
When you said that the pinimi is and it comes from the mother and the chitzon comes from the makif comes from the father, that's in the physical world. But you said in the upper world is completely opposite.
We are in the world, we are reflection
Of
the what is up there.
So isn't that was the question that Mr. Neely asked yesterday, but usually Hovaya is the pinimiyut, okay, which is the father, and then Elokim, it's the chitzon. And
Okay.
now you're changing
Elokim is not chitzon. Why you say Elokim is chitzon, Adonai is pinimi? What frame are you? What you talking about? What you want to say? I mean,
because as you said, also the bone structure, okay, it's the most pinimute aspect of us, and then there's a basar that comes is the more.
Now everything comes as we learn from the yesod. From the yesod, what we get is always from yesod. Everything
of mother and father, yeah.
Of the but the yesod of mother comes till chazeh.
That's the.
But yesod of the father comes all the way to the end.
Right. Yeah.
So that means the father is both outside and inside.
Ah, okay. So that makes a big difference.
But the mother is inside.
Right. Okay. Because it extends for
the seed. The seed is of the father. The mother is the cultivator. That's why he says doesn't make any difference if it is your batzuk or it's not batzuk.
But Abraham or Yitzchak, they come from the yesod of the mother. But when we go to Moshe, it comes from the yesod of Abba. So taking you there, there's a framework that.
No, Moshe, the banim comes from avot. The banim comes from the avot. Don't forget that. The thing is that the vav shel Hashem HaKadosh has rosh and has toch, has pinim v'chitzon. It's made of every pinim has pinim and chitzon. Look at the cup.
There's a pinim and chitzon.
There is a pinim and there is a chitzon.
Right.
And there is in between.
Right.
Always a vessel is made like this. You are the vessel. So therefore you have a chitzon, you have the pinim, and you have the in-between. And what is your in-between?
The ruach,
Tselem.
the selam, right, okay.
because the tselem is between your body and your neshama.
So the neshama, let's say it's coming from the pinimut of the neshama is coming from the mother. Let's take it up a little bit.
That's correct. That's Anochi.
It's coming from
That's
the mother.
Shekhinah.
Right, and that's why Bina created Abraham and Yitzchak. It comes from the Shekhinah, so it's pinimut. This is what you're saying.
Yes.
basically.
But
the potential
Yaakov and Yosef become Abba.
Yaakov becomes that because it comes from the Yesod of Abba. Anyway.
They become Yesod of Zeirampin. And Zeirampin is Abba.
And that's the Chitzon. And that's the Chitzon.
Zeirampin has Chitzon and Pinim.
So is Yaakov the Chitzon is the potential of Abraham and Yitzchak?
Abraham Yitzchak is considered to Banim. They are the Chitzon and the Pinimut are the Banim. That's why they received the Torah and Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov did not receive the Torah.
And that's why we have to join the Banim to the Avot. Basically, that's what you're going where.
That's right. It's impossible for Banim to be. Right now, we understood that without Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, this completing of the years of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, which takes 500. What did achieve Abraham? What Yitzchak achieved in his life? Because we know that the number of the years are very important.
So in the Zohar, it says that every neshama will go through the structure where they are. What is it called? The place where all of them are machbala. They go through the
Tunnel.
The tunnel there, and that's where Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are, and that's where you're going up. Okay, and you see and this is also. It looks like okay. Did you become echad with your avot, or you didn't become echad with the avot?
So now you are telling me that I am learning how to connect to my father, mother, as a chariot. Because Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov are chariots.
Right, this is true.
And they are the one in between to connect me to the upper world.
Amen. Yes.
That's exactly what the tree of generation is. Okay, you to be able to go to your source, whether it came from Adam HaKadmon, or it came from Adam HaRishon, or it came from wherever it came. You have to have the access. That's why Rav says that the zivug that we are talking, Abba Ve'ima, is Ein Bet Sag. The parsuf of Ein Bet Sag. That means your source is Ein Bet Sag. If my source is Ein Bet Sag, I am guaranteed to have an access to my source. So that means I can change my DNA. I can change. We don't know. Rav said we don't know more than what we know. So that's why we are working on it.
Beautiful.
And each one of us is able to connect it and push it further. Somehow that's why Rav wants everybody to learn this. And in all sincerity be able to cultivate it for the use of the world. That is the meaning of Ahavat Olam. That's the meaning of compassion.
Before we study the Torah, we said we should start saying Hineni.
You have to tell yourself and understand what is the word Hineni.
Basically, this is not a joke. This is what we.
Then immediately you come under the knafei of Shekhinah. That's where the Shekhinah now looks after your affair. That's what Rav says. There is hashkacha prati. There is a private You don't have, if you get sick, and Rav gave an example, you go Kuwait, you get the Kuwait, doctors don't have time. They can't talk to you. You die. They can't do anything. Now, what this comes, that we really learn, we will learn how to heal ourselves, not to get to a doctor. Who needs doctor? Who needs lawyer? You don't need any more lawyer and don't need any doctor. But at the meantime, God gave us doctors till we learn how to be
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficient. That's helping us by tzaddikim in order to elevate ourselves. That's called Maim Nukvim. As Rav explains what's Maim Nukvim. Maim Nukvim is the good deed. The things that you get rid of is not good in you, you get rid of. You got to get rid of what is good, not good in you, and replace it with something good. It costs you the same amount of time of life. It all depends how you want to go through your life. With all the time, with the stress. If you continue with this stress, there will be always Mavet. But you want to reach to the Bila Mavet Netzach. You want to have Netzach, victory on Mavet. That's our duty. That to learn to get rid of Mavet out of this world.
Question.
Any other question?
Yes. From the beginning, this was an issue for me. You said that the distance between a father to the son is supposed to be 500.
No, grandfather, father.
No, he said
Yeah,
father.
there's 500
Says the
steps.
It's a
Between the
father
father
and
to
son.
the son.
Okay,
But the-
it's Milui of Shin Daled Yud. Shin
Right.
Daled Yud is the world of creation.
But the example you're using, or what you're using to complete a tikkun, is a grandfather, a father, and then a son. You're saying is 500. So which is it? Is it from the father to the son? Is
No,
supposed
no.
to be 500?
It has
Or
to
from the
be
grandfather to
corrected. The nefesh, ruach, and neshama has to be corrected. We learned, and Rabbi Armoni taught us, you cannot come and correct your nefesh, ruach, neshama
One time.
That's
You can't.
three generations.
You come in three roles of ibur or gilgul. At least 3 times you have to feel the feeling of death to get cleansed. Then you have got rid of you. You are capable. That's what the Rav says. You are capable. Your good qualities get rid of all your bad qualities.
So it's not between
So
father and son. It's from grandfather.
Grandfather.
Father.
You got. We said right now. You gotta really take the Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov.
Yeah.
Because then you have the chance of Abraham corrected nefesh to create the cleanse the nefesh. Ishak cleansed ruach, and then neshama, and so therefore every cleansing that I have to do, I have to cleanse the level of nefesh, cleanse level of ruach, and cleanse level of neshama.
So is the son most likely to do the neshama aspect compared to the
Or
grandfather?
a son can do
Bring everybody else out.
everybody else out.
Right. So then it's at a minimum of 1,500 dagim, not 500.
No, it's
if you're
500.
doing
No.
Five.
It's the whole this when he says the father
do you
and
understand what I'm
son.
saying?
Whatever he
Because
said, the
originally
Hashem-
No,
No,
he said the father and son they become one. So that it's grandfather and father and the son. There are 3 of them.
این سه تا باید درست بشه.
They are one. They are become one.
So then why are we saying that between the father to the son, neshama should be at an average 500. It could be less
This-
or it could be
what
more.
he means by the five is from the father to the son that completed the job of nefesh, ruach, and neshama.
Okay, so it's the
Well,
grandfather
it's
to the
three
son.
generations. It's usually three.
But
generations.
it takes the grandfather and father and the son.
So how do we know
Why?
which one we are?
Why? We know in
You
Kabbalah,
want to bring all of them up.
you need 4 phases.
Yes.
Without the 4 phases, Torah says the shlishi v'revi'i, then
No,
the
I don't
third,
know that.
fourth. You gotta go through 4 phases, otherwise it cannot be completed in 2 phases or 1 phase. You gotta go through 4 phases.
So then you have an overlap.
Minimum.
So you have an overlap because we don't know which one we are, whether we're the son, if we're the father
No,
or
we
the
know.
son.
We know that whose child is your tikkun. We can specifically learn that your tikkun is which son can end your tikkun. Very simple. So therefore, I go ahead, I know that what things I should do, so the son tikkun becomes easier. That's the compassion part. Not because of only myself. I'm already gone certain age, certain teshuvot I cannot correct. But I can bring about the situation, circumstances, knowledge, changes, attitudes, whatever necessary. Teshuvah, I can do still teshuvah. So his work becomes easier, and the chance of him to be complete my tikkun will increase tremendously.
And he's going to be your libush, your son, basically.
One of my children is my tikkun.
That libush.
Libush
We're
of
creating
that
No,
son.
Father
the
creating
father
the-
gives the libush to
to
the
the
son
son.
to help him. That's how you help him.
You can do that before or after their birth.
Let's say I did something wrong and I need really seriously to do the teshuvah and I have an opportunity to do teshuvah. If I make the teshuvah and complete the teshuvah, that should not be anymore, is not responsibility of my son to correct it. But he might test for it. But because I did the teshuvah, I can maybe be able to help him that he passes the test. Because there is no elevation if you don't go through test. You will be tested on everything correction that you make.
So the father is going to be the libush of the son.
The
Give
father gives from his neshama, so that the neshama that the father gives to the son becomes the libush of that neshama. Any question from you, good people?
This was one of the most beautiful lesson regarding Asher that you teach us many years back. Asher Kiddushan, we always said Asher means Keter. Now I've noticed that this Keter is Avram son Yaakov.
Emet.
They are more than 500, and they are gonna stay with us forever.
Emet. Bravo. Chazak Baruch.
501.
Chazak Baruch.
It was so
501.
beautiful. When Kiddushan, it means B'zchut
ولی
Avot.
اشر
And this
اسرائیل
B'zchut Avot
ثبات
is gonna
بونه
stay with us forever.
That is the Etzedorot. That
Yes.
is Etzedorot. And when we recognize this, when we understand this, when we feel this, you feel different toward your mother and father. You feel different about your family because everybody is there to give you a signal, to open your eyes to see the truth, that how you can affect everybody, not only yourself, everybody.
Asher, as he mentioned, is Israel Sabbath and also is Moshe and Yosef.
Yes, we said we are Banim Shel Adonai Eloheinu. Eloheinu is Israel Saba Betevunah.
Beautiful.
And we are connecting to Israel Saba B'Tevuna. Why on the earth we have to use the Saba?
Yes.
پدر بزرگ.
And second thing that I learned tonight,
We're the third generation.
that so the neshama from the father is gonna
این
be
چهار
libush
تا
for
چهار تا فیض
neshama.
خودش هم باید بیاری.
And so is it the definition of Selem? So it means the Selem comes from father.
The Selem is the Shnei Chatimot Din Yesod that Abba gives from above.
No, I understand, but so it is
That
like-
libush is different than the Selem.
Oh, this is not Selem.
No. Don't forget, Kohen Gadol has 8 libushim. A regular Kohen has 4 libushim.
Yes.
We have different libush. We're gonna learn.
Rav Harmony last week said that even the Selem comes from father and mother.
That's true.
So
Selem is the Aleph He Yud He Be Yudin.
you then Alfin Hey.
So it's Aye is mother.
So the other two is self. The first one is Salam. Then the other two is self.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So
It is. We are going to use. I mean, I hope Rob approves it. I mentioned it to him.
That's amazing.
We're going to every time Rob gives the lesson, because Ari doesn't miss it. So we go and a little bit pick up from the Ari, and this gives us a strength in the language of Kabbalah, especially with the Shema Israel that we studied last night.
Beautiful. Also, four conditions that you said for father and mother.
Okay.
So both Hasid, both Rasha, one Hasid, one Rasha. It's gonna produce for Ben that we are talking in Pesach.
That is true. That's a man. That is
It was humongous information in a few pages. If I think it's bombard my brain.
you guys didn't hear this.
I just heard that.
That's how we have Arba Banim Ba'agada. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, because it could be one or the other. One makes the good, one makes the bad. and
I
the
am
other
sure
one makes
that
the
Rav
good.
Armoni is going to be very happy. Okay, then on
So
Thursday
depending-
I am going to send you the new link for lectures. The link that I send you is to get all the library. It's our school. This is going to be our school. Everything that Rab wants to put in the library of our school, he puts it over there, and you have the access to go over there. From this week is open to everybody. Please encourage people, because Rab says if I start, then it will be very hard for people to join. Please do your best. This Thursday, God again opens the whole channel for everybody to join. Try to join. We had 3 other people. They joined. We are standing right now, I think, 16 people. 4 more people. Bezrat Hashem will do good. Try your best.
Still, I don't have the password. I got a link from you, but so there is. I think so. We should log in it. One of them is Ketuvat Meal, and Sitma. I don't know what is that. Should we put something in it? So what is?
No, when you say forgot password, then. But get the, you see, when you finish registering, it says Toda.
No, but what should I put on the first box?
On the first box, your email.
Oh, it's my email?
The first box is email. The second box is a password. Make a password and write it. And if it tells you, no, this is a wrong password, say, I forgot. Which is,
you're going to reset the password.
huh? And then they send the email, through email, a new password for you.
Oh, you send through email?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna check. Sure.
Because I'm connected and I'm listening to all the shiurs.
Because I don't have it. Even in my email, I don't have it.
Try again. Go back and try as many times as possible till you register, because that's the only way you have an access to all the all the videos.
Oh, you mean so when we go to the link, we should put our email and we're gonna send it, and the rabbi is gonna send us the.
No, this automatically will send you a link.
Oh.
I
Okay,
have to
let me
find
try.
it. Shit.
Yes.
Melamed.
Trust me, it works.
The link is in your
In WhatsApp?
is it under Joseph Melamed or
Or
which one
Tuesday
is
night?
it? Tuesday night?
I send the link to every one of you through WhatsApp.
Through WhatsApp.
Yeah,
When?
yesterday to those people who I have in WhatsApp.
How much Facebook?
The last thing I got
Yeah,
from
but
you
that
was
code
two-
I am supposed to give it to those who are registered.
Uh-huh.
Any other question on your part?
Facebook.
You know, so I'm so excited. I think class Refot Es Haturot
Founded
is
February 1.
affecting us very positively.
You didn't register. He's saying he only sent it
I
to
would
people
be
he registered.
surprised that it's
She's
not,
registered.
Yeah,
first of all,
for people
affecting
who
you
paid,
deeply
basically, it says.
and positively.
I can't find it.
I
So
am.
it is, more than I
Okay.
expected. I thought it is something, next to our knowledge, but I see that, wow, it's changing everything. And, we go to Shari Gilgulim. It is interesting. I had the book, Shari Gilgulim, but, 2 months ago, I ordered Matuk Midabash. I like this book.
Hayam.
And then
What-
you started,
what link?
oh my God, you see that? I see the law.
20 years ago, I studied the Ari Gilgul Neshamot. 20 years ago. And then I forgot about it. But 20 years ago, a student came to my class and gave me 2 books of Gilgul Neshamot of Chaim Vital. I put it in my library. I never opened it.
Wow.
And I forgot that there is even there.
All right, this is the one, my schooler.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. It's mind-boggling.
Play the orchestra.
This one.
That's Hashkacha Prati. I say shalom to everybody.
Shalom.